Hello, and welcome to Keys to Embracing Aging. This curriculum was developed by Kansas State Research and Extension, also partnering with University of Arkansas and University of Kentucky. My name is Cheryl Austin, and I am an extension agent in family and community health with the Cooperative Extension Program with Prairie View A&M University. So a lot of universities here are working together to bring this to you. Keys to Embracing Aging is about establishing these 12 healthy lifestyle behaviors to influence optimal aging. Positive attitude, eating smart, eating healthy, getting physical activity, exercising our brain, getting social activity, tuning into the times, being safe, knowing our health numbers, managing our stress, managing our finances, getting enough sleep, and taking time for ourselves. If we establish these healthy lifestyle behaviors, then we can grow old well in an optimal way. And so today, we're going to focus on managing our stress. So, what is stress? How would you define stress? I'm going to give you a moment to stop the presentation and just discuss that among yourselves. How would each of you define stress? So, stress is how the body responds to events and experiences. So, just by hearing that, you know that it's going to look different for each person. What is going to be stress for one person is not going to be the same for another person. It's all about how we respond. Some stress is good stress, or what we call eustress. That's spelled EUSTRESS. Eustress, good stress. That type of stress, or in the way that we respond to those events and experiences, is we are motivated. It can actually be exhilarating at times. It helps us rise to those challenges. It helps us face those tough situations in a positive way. We kind of have that boost to really do something about whatever that event or experience is. For some people, it might be getting married. That might be a good stress, or getting a new job. It's a challenge, but it's a challenge that motivates us in a positive way. The stress that we usually talk about is the bad stress or distress, DISTRESS. This type of stress leaves us feeling agitated, anxious, irritable, or different things, negative things happen in our bodies. And so those type of responses are not always good, especially if it's happening to us on the long term. So what type of things stress you out? And if you like, you can stop the presentation again and take a moment to discuss what are those things, what are those events or experiences that cause stress for you, that cause you to react in or your body to respond in a negative way. All right, we'll continue. So a lot of times we define stress as what's really our stressors. You know, sometimes we may ask people, well, what does stress look like to you? And someone may say, my job, or my children, or other certain people, an illness. But really, these are what we call stressors. These are the events, these are the experiences that provoke those different responses in our body. So our body reacts to stress in three ways, or we can call these like three different stages. The first stage is the alarm stage. This is what we're accustomed to being, we hear it as fight or flight. So at this point, the body is releasing certain hormones that cause our breathing to increase, our heart rate to increase. We're much more alert, and we're able to either fight off whatever that experience is, whatever that situation is, or we're able to run from it and maybe even think quickly in that particular situation, especially if we are feeling that we are in danger. So that's the alarm stage. Now, if that stress continues beyond that alarm stage, then we move into the next stage, which is resistance and adaptation. And that's where our body is actually trying to get back into balance. It's trying to adapt to whatever that stressor is, and in a sense, calm us back down. And so different things are happening in our body during that time of resistance and adaptation. Hopefully, we get back to normal in a sense, to where we're in a more balanced state again. But if not, if that stressor is we're continuing to have an issue with that particular stressor, then we move into stage three of exhaustion, where our body is tired and it's given out. And again, you kind of see that play out in different ways. And we'll talk about that a little bit later in another slide. So three stages: the alarm stage, hopefully, again, it ends there. You know, we have the intense breathing, the intense heart rate, but we're able to work through whatever that stressor is and move back to a balanced state. Again, if that stress continues, then we move into our body going into resistance and adaptation, trying to do different things to get us back to balance. And if we still don't move back to a balanced state, then at some point our body just gives out. And that plays out in different ways. And so, how do you know that you're in a stress overload, that you're experiencing a stress overload? For some people, they may start to have anxiety or panic attacks. Some people, it may affect their digestive system, where they are experiencing upset stomach or other different things with their digestive system. Some people experience headaches, chest pain. It can even affect our skin, the way that we sleep. We may start to feel sad or depressed. And you can probably name other things that are not on this slide, that, because again, it's individual. Just like there are different things that stress us out. For you, it might be one thing. For me, it might be another thing. Well, it's the same way, the way that our body reacts to stress. For some people, they may get headaches. For another person, they may have a upset stomach. For another person, they might experience depression. It's all different, but again, it's our body's way of telling us something is off balance here. And so we need to come up with some type of coping strategy to get back into balance. So as far as managing our stress, there are two things that we can do. We can either change the situation, or we can change the way that we react to the situation. So I know that a lot of people have heard of that serenity prayer, Lord, help me accept the things that I cannot change. There are some events or experiences that we cannot do anything about. Right now, we're experiencing COVID. There's nothing that we can do to change the fact that COVID is here. So in that case, we might have to change our reaction, as opposed to changing the situation. So let's just again talk about these two methods. Changing the situation requires us either avoiding the stressor or altering the stressor. So avoiding the stressor, that may require, if a person is the person, if a person, I'm sorry, is stressing me out, then I may need to avoid that person. I may need to limit my interaction with certain people so that it's not causing me to react in a stressful way. It might be I need to change my job. You know, maybe my job, the type of job that I do, is a stressor for me. And so maybe I need to update my resume and get out there and find something new to do that's going to make me happy. Sometimes I may have to alter the stressor. So the stressor could be my calendar. Maybe I just have too many things going on. How can I alter that? Well, maybe I need to say no more often and not commit myself so much. Or maybe I just need to get more organized with my calendar. So that's ways that I can change the situation. I can either avoid or I can alter the stressor. The other method is sometimes I just have to change the way that I react to it. Again, there are some things that I cannot change. And so what I do have control over is me. So I can accept whatever that stressor is, or I can adapt to whatever that stressor is. Going back to the example with COVID, um, I know for me, I have to really kind of tell myself almost every day, every week, this is what it is. You know, you have to accept that your life is not the way that it was pre-COVID. So, working from home and parenting 24/7, having your family around you 24/7, that is a stressor for me. And so, I've had to come to terms to say, I accept it. This is what it is. So, what can I do to adapt to this particular situation? Well, I can change the way I do things. If I know that I have to work from home, then I need to set up a new schedule. My schedule is no longer 8 to 5. My schedule may be that I have to do educational activities with my children for a few hours during the day, and I may have to work a little bit past 5 to get things done so that I can satisfy my job requirements. It's all about adapting, accepting, and adapting. Um, Another way to accept that we kind of get through accepting is learning how to meditate or pray about something, or going out and getting some exercise so that I can relax my mind. All of these are ways that help us accept whatever that stressor is. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time to, if you like to pause the presentation and talk about, if anyone feels free to share about a certain stressor in your life and how you dealt with it. Did you avoid it? Did you alter it? Did you accept it? Or did you adapt to it? Okay, well, I hope you had some good discussion on that. And I hope that you were able to maybe glean something from someone else on how they either changed their situation or changed the way that they reacted to that particular situation to manage the stressors in their life. Also, with managing your stress, I think we can't say it enough that you need some relaxation time to yourself. Um, However you can find it. For me, it's that shower at night. That's my time to just kind of meditate on how the day went. What do I need to do for the next day? That's my moment to kind of pray and talk to God about things. And just sometimes I just stand there and let the water run because that's the only time I have to myself. So, whatever that time is, it may be staying up late, watching a movie, or going for a walk in the morning, but get you some relaxation time and make sure that you are connecting with others. Social activity is so very important, especially during this time. We use the term social distancing, but we really don't want a social distance. We just want be physically distant with others, but still connecting socially in some way, whether it's from a distance, talking to people from a distance, or doing something by the use of technology. A lot of people are doing these drive-by birthday parties and things of that nature, whatever it takes. Just picking up the phone, and calling people and connecting through social media. Make sure that you stay connected. Don't live in isolation because that's how we're going to get through these stressful times. Do something that you enjoy every day. I have to remind myself of this all the time because I think women do this even more so, where we tend to take care of everybody else, and especially mothers. We're all about what does our family need, what does our children need. We're always thinking ahead on the things that we need to do to keep that household running. And I know for me, sometimes I forget that, hey, I need to do something just for me today as well. And so whether it's reading, whether it's a hobby, having that relaxation time, whatever it is, do something for you that you enjoy every day. And keep your sense of humor. I mean, if we can't laugh about what's going on in our lives, then we're just going to stay sad and depressed. So try to find a positive side in everything, because there is always something positive that we can look towards no matter what's going on in our lives. So try your best to keep your sense of humor. You should have this particular worksheet called Stress, Stress, Stress. Basically, if you go through each phrase, you're going to give a 1 for never, a 2 for sometimes, 3 for usually, or 4 for always next to that particular phrase. And then you're going to total up your points at the bottom there where it says total score. And it'll give you a range there to show you if you are handling your stress well, or maybe if you need to put some of those 4 A's into practice: altering, adapting, to make a change in the way that you are managing your stress, either changing your situation or changing the way you react. So you can either do this right now, take the time to see where you are in managing your stress, or you can take this home with you and just look it over and kind of think about what things can I do differently going forward. Last but not least, again, aging is inevitable. I mean, it's happening to us not every year, but every day. We are getting older, we are aging. And so, why not embrace it? Why not be positive about it? Practice these 12 healthy lifestyle behaviors, and just let's have a positive approach to this aging process. I hope that you received some information today that either gave you something new to think about, or just reminded you of what you already know and maybe haven't been practicing that well. And so, again, my name is Cheryl Austin. I'm a family and community health agent with the Cooperative Extension Program for Prairie View A&M University. And if there's any other information that you need, you can certainly contact our office at 254-933-5305, or you can contact me by email, slaustin@pvamu.edu. That's slaustin at pvamu.edu. And I look forward to aging well with all of you. Have a great day.